Thank you for joining us for our final show of a 4-week presentation from artist Bob Cummings. He hopes that you have been able to learn some new techniques and to transform your artwork to the next level.
Hi, Bob Cummings again. Thank you. It's nice to be back with you. Again, we're talking about the importance of tonal values in building a successful piece of artwork. These are the different tonal values. Tonal values all the way in a continuum from white to black. And separating this tonal value into 3 categories. The 3 categories basically are the backbone, or the footing, the foundation, maybe we should say, for a good painting. Here again is a cutout, but actually when I take and do these steps like you see here, I am doing them on my canvas that I'm going to have a finished painting. So I want to make that very clear. So what do I start out with? I always start out with the farthest most object, which would be the sky or the clouds or the sun. That is always going to be the lightest value. Secondarily, in second then, I put on the background trees and even faraway mountains. And so I use the middle tones to pick one of the middle tones here, and it works really well to put in the middle tones. Try to follow that as we look at the finished painting here. This is how I actually painted this portion here on my canvas. Then I applied the deep dark values of the upright trees and the close-up trees. If you would look carefully, you would see the dark values that exactly I painted them just like this on here. And I had this dark value of trees. Then if you remember, I came in at this point, I would start modeling. In other words, taking a rag and working with the tonal value to a place where, if you can come up really close here and take a peek, we have these tonal values have values within the tonal values, and it gives a kind of a 3-dimensional look. Likewise, I applied some highlights to the dark background, applying several layers of highlights, and then applying and putting some trees in the front of this dark background gives it a fullness and a strength. So these are little tidbits on how to do a finished painting. And then the foreground, again, as I explained in the last in our last painting. Can you notice here, again, the further away an object is from the artist's eye, or from any of us from our eye, we lose color, we lose texture, and we lose size. Watch here how we take and jump up in color and texture. We'd come to a closer object. Now we're seeing, if you can see this here, just a little bit of color and a little bit of texture. We're coming up to our background trees, and you can see that there's more texture. And then the upright dark trees, and of course you can see a lot of texture. Even in the foreground, looking way back, we see very little texture or color. Now as we come forward, closer to us, we begin to see more deep shadows, more texture, and more color. And that's very convincing as we can relate to it as a realistic painting. Well, I can't tell you how my desire, can't tell you enough that I desire that this has really been an encouragement for many of you that take and have a desire to paint. I hope that you will try this tonal value effect. And I hope you really do well. In fact, I would like to hear from you. My webpage will be posted, and there's email on that. And I really want to hear if this has been a help to you. And perhaps maybe I'll be invited back to do some other things. And other than that, I want to leave with explaining a word picture that means a great deal to all of us. It's a word picture that we identify with. It is basically comes from America the Beautiful. The first couple stanzas kind of go, America the Beautiful. Beautiful for spacious skies. Can you just see the picture that's being formed here by the person that wrote this? Beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain. I see the amber and golden waves being moved by a subtle wind. Beautiful. Purple mountains' majesties above the fruited plains. It's a picture, isn't it? It's beautiful. Okay, what we have is a reminder how blessed we are. We are a people that live in a free country. But freedom isn't free. It costs a great deal for some people. So, from myself, from the depths of my heart, and from my family, and from Leighton Broadcasting, we want to say a special thank you to you veterans. We don't want to forget the sacrifice and the service that you have paid, and for your families and what they have done for us. And so I'm closing out just saying thank you, thank you, thank you. For all of you men and women that have won or worn the uniform in honor, we can't thank you enough. And I hope this has been a presentation that you have enjoyed, and I certainly have enjoyed it.
If you have any questions regarding anything that Bob has talked about in his presentation, he would really love to hear from you. You can go to his website, rjcummingsart.com, and you can find his email address there. He really wants to hear from you, and if you have learned anything in his presentation, and if you would like to see any more presentations in the future, so please go to his website, rjcummingsart.com.